Hi, friends. We're back, and it's halftime. I don't know if any of you guys have already joined us, but we are doing a 24-hour readathon of A Court of Mist and Fury, and we are halfway through. How are you guys feeling so far?
There's a lot of things that I've forgotten, and then I'm like, wait, what? I don't remember this. But I forgot how much I loved like the group of friends. Anyways, yeah. I don't know how far y'all are at, but I like the found family kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not very far. I've been reading though. I'm on. Let's see. I'm on chapter 11. So page 108.
Oh, I'm not that far.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
I'm farther.
How far did you get, Stacy?
I'm much further. I'm at chapter 16.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's page 1. Trying to find my spot. My bookmark fell out. I don't know. It's like page 150 something, 160. Yeah. My husband has been taking care of the kiddos so I could read. So I got some pages read. I'm really hoping I could read this whole book in this 24 hours. It'd be the first time. It'd be really cool to be able to do that, especially a big chunker like this.
Yeah, I did the math. So if I were to read for 12 hours, for every hour, if I read 52 pages, I could get the book done.
That sounds doable.
Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure I slept for like 4 hours, and I've been reading since 6, 7, something like that. So it's possible. You never know.
I don't think I could read 50 pages in an hour. I'm not that fast. That's almost a page a minute.
Yeah. I read 15 pages in an hour.
Okay, well, I know that we're all in different places right now, but what are your overall non-spoiler feelings about where the book is headed? I would think that we're all kind of far enough now to kind of see the relationship between Feyre and Tamlin kind of deteriorating. What do you think about that?
I think I feel kind of like glad it's happening. I feel bad for saying that, but I just don't like Tamlin at all. And I liked him in the last book. Just not a fan. I didn't like in the last book the way I don't know if he just sat by and watched her get tortured, or like he physically couldn't help her. But it seems like if he had the will, he should have been able to. So I don't know. I'm just not feeling Tamlin in this book at all.
Ashley?
I hate him. I remember the first time I read it, I was for Tamlin 100%, and then I started reading like the parts where we're at now. I'm like, what's going on? Why are you being such a douchebag? Like, there's no reason to act like this.
I know when Rhys came and broke up their wedding, I was like, yes. And then I was like, what's wrong with me? Like rooting for this wedding not to happen. Like they can't get married right now.
So since you got to that part, I could tell you that was the spoiler.
Oh, okay.
I was told
that they didn't get married.
That they didn't get married. Yeah, that Rhys stopped her from marrying Tamlin. So, she told me that it could have been, the spoilers could have been much worse. That a lot happens in this book. Okay. So she's like, trust me, that's not a big deal. It happens early on, but still, I mean, but I didn't want to share that until now that you got there. I was like, okay, but what does that mean? Because she kind of insinuated it meant something. So I'll just say that. Oh. But I want to say this. So I really liked Tamlin in the first book, but of course, if he was unlikable, we wouldn't have been rooting for him and Feyre to get together. And I was a little concerned with how they were going to build a conflict in the relationship in order for the story to be interesting, because, you know, we want to see, there has to be something that comes between them in order for them to come back together again. Otherwise it wouldn't be much of a story. And at first, when I saw that they were going to make Tamlin this bad guy, the author decided to do that, I was like, oh, is this going to be one of those, oh, isn't that convenient? He's all of a sudden this shithead. But it's been done really well where it makes sense. I don't feel like, oh, he's all of a sudden changed into a different person. You see, he was always kind of this way. Now that you think about the last book, it wasn't as, he hid it, you know, for the sake of breaking the curse. That's how I see it anyway.
Yeah, or it was there, but it wasn't directly pointed toward Feyre in the last book. So he's always been kind of broody and angry. But now she's having issues. And that whole part, I just finished that part where, are we spoiling? I guess we are, because we already talked. Okay, I finished that part where he loses his temper and she throws up a shield. Yeah.
That was, I have to say that whole conflict between them is really done well, because they're both going through something, right? Which are in Feyre's head. But it's like, is this not clear-cut domestic abuse situation, right?
I mean, it destroyed the room.
Yeah. And then the way he acts afterwards. I mean, have you gotten to the part where
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, where have I read something like this before?
That paint set, and that just kind of makes it even worse. Not only did he get a gift to say he was sorry for acting so terrible, but he got her something that, like, she has a mental block that she can't. And that's a lot of the similarities with having PTSD in real life. It's, you know, there's certain things sometimes that you can't do that will trigger you because of past trauma. And so I forgot how good that was reading the first time, and now I'm like back into it. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, I have to agree. I really thought this was going to be more at the surface, like the last book. The last book wasn't very deep. There wasn't much to the characters, but you still enjoyed the experience. Whereas now the characters are way more developed. Even only 150 pages in, you really get a lot more about what Feyre is going through. I always want to say Phaedra. I don't know why. Is that a character for another book?
Freya from Norse mythology. That's what it reminds me of. Which I think there are only two differences. The R's are in different places.
Oh.
I always think of that though.
Okay, well, you guys have anything else you want to talk about so far before we jump into a sprint?
No, I mean...
So, I have a question for you two. What do you predict is going to happen here in the next couple chapters?
I think I can't really answer that because I would spoil things for Brandy.
Yeah.
If you could be like very bland.
Where I'm leaving off is the second time that Reese shows up and she's naked. and it just essentially ended where they leave in a cloud of black dust or whatever. So I'm guessing more reading and training. I love that he's teaching her how to read.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't that a priority for Tamlin? That's another reason I don't like him. Because
nothing's a priority. Yeah. She doesn't seem to be a priority at all to him.
No. So I think maybe more reveals about what's going on in the Night Court or just in this war that Reese talks about. That's going to happen. I don't know.
So mine, I don't think anything would be a spoilers. I don't know if this is a prediction or a want or an expectation, but I want to see more of Feyre's powers and see her learn to control them. So she seems to have a lot of unpredictability with what she's capable of doing, and I like to see her start to harness that and be able to use it. Be cool. And that's another thing. Tamlin is like, she's got all this stuff, and you're not even making it a priority to help her control it. Imagine how scary that must be for her. Oh yeah, Tamlin's a.
And she has to find out from Reese, who's supposed to be her enemy, that she has these abilities, and I don't know. I'm Team Reese right now.
I'm assuming you say Tamlin, you mean tampon. That's what you're hearing.
Do you have a nickname for anybody else?
No, not yet.
I thought that was perfect.
It is.
Because it starts with a T and ends with an N. And it could mean so many things.
And they'd all be right.
And Steve was getting ready to go to bed because he has work tonight. So I was just looking at Twitter and laughing. So I had to tell him about it. He's like, oh my gosh, you guys are funny.
It is hilarious. And when you first put it on there, I mean, it could have meant so many things, and they were all funny. And then when you said that second one, I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't think it could be funnier, and it was.
But it's so true. Like,
it's very true.
It's to a T.
Now every time I'm reading his name, I just see tampon.
Okay, so I'm setting the timer for 20 minutes. So no pressure. Read as much as you can in 20 minutes. And then we'll come back and we'll have some more discussion.
Okay.
All right. See you guys in 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right. I was lucky enough to come to the end of a chapter right 5 seconds before the timer went off.
Oh,
So this is not a spoiler, Brandy, but I have to read this one line. Your choice, Feyre, Rhys said casually. Does that not say it all? Right there.
Well, I was just reading about it was the part where they're kind of having a conversation behind Feyre's back about, well, her claws had just appeared and Lucian's trying to talk Tampon into letting her train. So it just was like in the middle of that conversation is where I was, and how they're talking about how Rhys would be wanting to maybe steal her for her offspring, or other people might want that. I didn't think about that. So see, little things like that make me doubt him a little. But then when she's with him, it's like, maybe he's not such a bad guy after all. I don't know. Conflicted.
That's what that conversation really annoyed me, because it's like, if you have these concerns, why aren't you sharing those with Feyre? Why don't you let her in on what's happening?
And she's overhearing it from the other room.
Yeah. Oh God, this whole thing is like, she's not this, weak human. Even when she was a weak human, they didn't coddle her. I mean, she went around hunting with Lucian on a daily basis, and it's just Tamlin annoys me.
Yeah.
But I guess we're supposed to feel that way.
Yeah, it's not very nice.
Yeah, it's kind of good writing, that, I mean, I guess that's what she's going for in the writing, which is good, to make you just really love the guy and then now you hate him.
That's good writing.
Yeah. I like that kind of stuff.
So, and any ideas how many pages you read? I don't think
I probably read 10 pages.
That's about what I read. 12. I read 12.
I have no idea. I kept getting that. My husband sent me this video of him dancing to this song, like he's just doing this. What are you doing? Why are you sending me this? So that didn't help.
So we have some people viewing. Are you guys reading along with us during the sprints? Anybody there want to comment? Steve's asleep, so it's not him.
It might be my kids.
Whatever I just said that's inappropriate, I'm very sorry.
It's okay. They have me for a mom, so they hear a great amount of inappropriate on a daily basis.
So I'm almost 180 pages in and no more smut. I thought this was supposed to be full of smut. I wanted smut every 100 pages.
I know. I was just thinking that too. Like, where is it?
Yeah. I can't imagine there's going to be much until Feyre and Tamlin find a way to reconcile, I guess.
Or
unless
favorite. Oh, look at Ashley. See, that's the hard thing. If you've read it before, I wouldn't be able to have a poker face.
Yeah, my poker face is terrible.
I'm predicting the next smut might be Feyre and Rhys.
I don't think I'd be opposed to that.
And I'm seeing what you were talking about, Ashley, the bond that they have. I think he created it with his tattoo or his bargain with her. So they have this bond, and now she's able to put shields up so he can't. But he did catch a little bit of that fight they had with the room that exploded.
Yeah. And his reaction to that kind of when he got really upset about what happened, I was kind of like, yeah, like he's mad. He likes you.
He's gonna go whoop somebody's butt.
I was thinking back too to when she first met him at that summer festival, And she really was drawn to him then too.
Mm-hmm.
Like she talked about
And
how
she was
beautiful he was. Yeah.
She was a human at that point too.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine now that she's high fae or whatever she is, that I don't know. I just think it's interesting that like she can. Oh well, I might not want to say this. She's got similar powers to all of the lords that
Mhm.
gave them like, and she's learning how to figure that out. And I think it's amazing that he's like trying to help her and like train her how to handle these powers and kind of guiding her through. Whereas Tampon doesn't care. Like he doesn't care. He's off to whatever shenanigans.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna laugh every time we.
That's fine.
If anything great came out of this readathon, it was a nickname for Tamlin. This is fun though. No, it really is. Even Steve came home this morning and said we should do this for, I think it was like Kings of Ash or something, or one of those books. It's really fun.
It is fun. I always shied away from actually. So there are other channels who do something like this, and always shied away from joining on camera or anyway. I'd kind of do it on my own, and it's just a little bit harder to hold yourself accountable than it is when you do it in a group. I stayed up till 4:00 in the morning. I would not have done that, but it also helped that the book was interesting. I wanted to know what was happening and keep reading. So, I mean, that helped. If it was a boring book, I probably would have been like, snooze. But yeah, and then I woke up before my alarm went off. So I set my alarm for 9. It was like 5 hours, a good amount of sleep. And I woke up before the alarm went off, just so I can jump on and start reading some more. So that says a lot about the book and how excited I am to get to do this with you guys. So definitely, I'm in. You guys want to do it again for another book, and it would be fun to have Steve do it with us too.
I was trying to do one for the Olympic readathon, and I missed the stream. But since I knew we were going to be doing reading sprints with this readathon, I went back and rewatched it, and it was kind of fun, like just reading with them and then doing the chat a little, even though I wasn't there for the live chat. But I thought at first I was like, that's interesting to read together, but it's reading together. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
And my husband said he was on last night watching, and he's like, you guys just seriously just sit there and read on camera? He's like, why? I was like, we're reading together. It's like,
and the people that are watching are reading with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
people are actually watching you read.
Yeah. I mean, it's the equivalent of like hanging out in the living room, reading a book on the couch, and like just because you're all together and you're there, but at the same time, like you're sharing this common thing that you enjoy, and like even though you're not communicating with them at that time, it's still like, I don't know, it's hard to explain to me, but I love stuff like that because I feel like it brings more like a different experience to the book I'm reading. So like, although I've read this book, it's different this time because I'm reading it with you guys and I'm making like all these memories, and so that way I'll remember the book more so than anything else.
Yeah,
I have to agree. So yeah, tell Steve yes.
Yeah.
Whatever, he can pick the book. We won't make him read a romance.
Yeah.
It would be fun to do one of the Kings.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The Kings of, like those are pretty big. Well, especially Kings of Paradise is pretty big. So it'd be cool to knock a good portion of that out together.
Mm-hmm.
But even if he doesn't, and he's just like trying to be nice to me, but I would be down to do this every couple months or so, like you were saying, to just romancy books or romance fantasy or whatever, anything.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put something on the calendar because I always like doing this, and it's always fun to do something that everybody's excited to read because it makes the conversations interesting. And I liked that this was a sequel because we could talk about, like we did the trivia for the last book. So I was like, it'll be a good refresher to get us to remember what happened, and but then it's also, we could talk about predictions and don't know. It's fun. I really like this. And I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Especially the Twitter messages. Those are fun. The book fee.
I had to come up with something.
Yeah, that was good.
Every hour.
I liked it. And okay, so I have a question then, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but are we reading the next one next month? Or
Yes.
Are we going to keep reading these together? Okay, good.
Yes.
Like one a month?
Not a 24-hour readathon, but definitely.
No.
We'll do a stream at the end of the month to kind of talk about the whole trilogy. So, Ashley, did you say you had or had not read the books after the trilogy?
So, yeah, I've read up to the last book in the series. I have not read the novellas or the Court of Silver Flames.
Okay.
But I have
the same characters?
Court of Frost and Starlight, I tried reading it, and I don't think I was just in the right headspace because I wasn't really paying attention. But it kind of tells you, like, what's going on after the third book in the series. And then the Court of Silver and Flames is mostly dealing with, I can't remember exactly who it is, but it's two of the characters from the trilogy. I think it's Elaine or Nesta. It's one of the sisters and then somebody else.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So we can talk about the trilogy as an actual, it doesn't continue as a series.
Okay.
No, it's just like, well, I'm not sure with the Court of Silver Flames. I'm not entirely sure because I think there's still some stuff that goes on that has happened in the trilogy that she explains in A Court of Silver Flames. I mean, because it's a huge book. Like, it's massive.
They all are. I mean, after the first book, all of these are like 650 pages. I got the other one right there.
Which one is that pink one? Is that the third book?
This is the third book, Court of Wings and Ruin.
So then the little novella comes after that.
Yeah.
Okay, I bought them all. So
oh wow,
they're on my shelf, but I just didn't know like what. I know there's a little small one.
I couldn't do it. I heard things about the books after the trilogy, and I was like, I'm only gonna invest in the trilogy, and unless I just have to know what happens next. There's been a lot of polarizing reviews, people that really hate it or really love it. There's no real in between.
We'll see then. I was told for Mother's Day I could buy a bunch of books, so so I did. And
Good for you.
Those were some of them. So.
Do you buy the romance books you read, or do you read mostly on your Kindle?
It depends. We have Kindle Unlimited, so I try, and if it's free on Kindle Unlimited, I know the author makes more money that way, I think. So, especially indie authors, they get like money by the page. If you read their Kindle Unlimited. But so, and also it's free. Well, not free for me, but it's included. So I try, if it's something that I can't read on Kindle Unlimited, then I'll probably buy it.
I didn't know that about Kindle Unlimited. So I will read an author. So for example, Nightfall, I read that on Kindle Unlimited and I loved it. So I bought the rest of them because I thought he would get more money that way. Maybe I should have read them on Kindle Unlimited and just had the ebooks. But I don't know if you could do that.
I'm not exactly sure. Steve did that interview with Richard Nell, the very first one about Kings of Heaven, and they talked about it a little bit in there. And he was saying that you get paid by the page, and sometimes you almost make a little more money that way. So I've just been trying to support that part.
No, that's the whole purpose, right?
Yeah.
I thought, well, now I know. And I haven't watched that video because I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's like right smack in the middle of it, I think. So you'll get there, though.
Yes,
It's a good video. He has a lot of good information. And, yeah, he's pretty knowledgeable about the self-publishing stuff. So
Okay, well, I was thinking about doing another game, but I left it upstairs. You guys have any ideas of something to do? I was gonna do so we have that game called 5 second rule where you have the card and you have to name like 3 things from a category in 5 seconds. But I don't have it. You guys have any other ideas?
I'm bad at that stuff.
Do all of the work here. All right, then we're doing.
And a lie? I don't know. 2 truths and a
Oh,
lie.
that's a good one. Good one. Okay, Ashley, you go first since you came up with the idea.
Okay. 2 truths and a lie. I need backup. Hold on.
I'm the worst at my wheels are already turning. What can I say? Is it book related?
You could do that. That's a good idea. Let me see. I think it's so too.
Okay, I think I got one. So, I'm trying to do one that I don't think y'all will know. I'm from Arkansas. I own a piece of land that we use for like farming and stuff, like animals. And then 3 is I was a junior Olympic gymnast.
I'm gonna say the farm is a lie.
I'm gonna say Arkansas is a lie.
The farm's a lie. I don't know the farm.
Good job, Brandy.
I like to win.
I was really trying hard. I was like, what can I say that's not true without, because my poker face is terrible.
You did a good job.
Yeah, you did. I was thinking for a minute, like, I don't know.
I mean, you obviously sound like you're from the South, but it's like it could be Arkansas, Oklahoma, heck, Texas. So I thought you were trying to trick us there. Okay, I'll go next. So I originally grew up in California. I met Joe Montana, the quarterback of the 49ers. And I don't know if I want to say this. And I never graduated college.
I'm going to say never graduated college.
That's what I would say too.
Oh, I'm not good at this.
Come on.
That's correct.
So you did originally grow up in California?
Yeah.
Oh, what area?
San Francisco, Northern California. No. I miss it. I miss the weather. That's about it. And my family. But that's still there, but that's about it. Does that sound horrible?
No. We used to live there. I mean, we made it like my mom moved us out there when we were younger, and we probably made it like a few months, and then we came back.
How old were you?
3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
So, but we have family there. My mom was born there in Torrance, California, which is LA area, and she grew up there. But it wasn't. Once they call New Mexico the land of entrapment. So once you live there, you just never. You can move, but you always come back. Like Steve's moved, I've moved, my mom's moved. We all just come back. It's got like this pool.
Is that why you can't leave now?
Yeah.
Steve's like, I want to leave, but then you don't.
Yeah. So.
All right,
okay, Brandon. I'll go. Oh gosh, this is hard. I'm really bad at this stuff. Okay. I never finished college. I'm not copying you. That was a good one. I homeschool my kids since forever. Let's see. I have 7 dogs.
Okay, well, I know all those the answers to all those. So
I'm
I'm
the
gonna
worst.
ask Luca.
You don't have 7 dogs.
I have 5 dogs.
Yep.
I've said that. Oh, now I'm thinking of all the good ones. Now I'm thinking
Last time you told us, I think you and Steve told us about all your dogs at the last, just because.
But we were drinking, so I don't remember. I do. I totally went and took a 3-hour nap after that, though. Steve had to wake me up it was like 7 o'clock at night. He came. It's 7 o'clock at night. I guess you should probably get up now. I crashed.
So funny.
And that was 2 glasses of whiskey. I can't drink.
Can't drink. I drank. Well, I bought a bottle of wine, but it was the wrong kind. And I found out later that it's the. So I usually like red wine, but I've been kind of drinking a lot of white wine because it doesn't give me headaches. And I found out the one I had is like a really low alcohol content because I drank almost the whole thing and I didn't feel a single buzz. And I was like, I know I'm not building a tolerance because I drink maybe a drink a month. And yeah, I went and looked it up. And I was like, is this like non-alcoholic wine or something? Although I was giggling a lot. You could tell if I'm drinking, I've either had a lot of caffeine or I'm drinking alcohol because I giggle.
Yeah, last night I was thinking I should bring a martini to the readathon because I've been drinking a martini once in a while. Fancy with my martini. But then I thought, no, because if I want to stay up and read, that's just like a tranquilizer for me. I'm just going to go right to sleep.
Same here.
So I didn't have alcohol.
Good for you. Because I had to drink 2 cups of coffee to stay up.
Whenever you drink, especially wine, do you tend to feel like you're congested or like you have like a headache afterwards?
I always get a headache with wine, especially if it has sulfites. A lot of wines do. I don't know if I've noticed that. I'm sure there's something about that. But yeah, it's just, wine always gives me a bad headache.
Yep, me too. And I love it. And I
can't live without it. But they have these things that absorb the histamines in the wine. So that way, like, you can drink a glass of wine and afterwards you don't feel like you're congested or like you don't have a headache or anything. And it doesn't completely take away that feeling, but it's like it's 10 times better than just straight drinking the wine. I can't remember what they're.
It's like
they're
something
like,
you put in the bottle?
Yeah, no, you put it in so you pour your cup of wine and then you put the thing and you swirl it. It's like a little wand looking thing, and you swirl it around and you leave it in there for about 3 minutes, or I just leave it in there while I'm drinking the wine. And but it looks, on the very end, it looks like a little coffee filter thing almost.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll have to figure out what it's called. I'll send it to y'all.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was histamines. I thought it was the sulfides, like Brandy said. Maybe that's.
It could be.
My allergies are so bad this season. Like, my allergy medicine isn't working. I'm going to be on the stream sneezing, and I don't know if you guys can hear I'm stuffed up. It's like.
It's been pretty bad here this year too, the allergies, but thankfully I'll take a Claritin and it works. I don't have it as bad as some people get it. There's just something in the air this year.
All right, so we're at almost an hour. Let's do one more reading sprint, and then we can all go back to our lives and read on our own. Because I know that's what we're gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious. What are your goals by the end of this? Ashley, I know you said you were gonna try to read 50 pages an hour and hope to finish the book. Brandy, do you have a goal for the readathon?
I would love to finish it by the time I go to bed tonight. Realistically, at least 3/4 of it done.
Okay.
And I'll finish it tomorrow after Sherlock.
I still haven't watched the last episode.
You haven't? No. But you watched it before, right?
Yeah.
This season was good.
I watched the first episode right away after our last live stream because I wanted to remember. I couldn't remember how he did it, right? How he cheated or faked his death. And then it took a while before I watched the second episode, and now I gotta watch the third. I didn't read. Well, so I planned on reading the stories again, but I didn't this time because I'd already gotten halfway through the first short story collection, and I wanted to finish that for the Olympics readathon. And then after that, I was kind of Sherlocked out. I was like, I don't want to read anymore because the stories from this season are all from another short story collection. I was like, I just don't feel like starting another one.
Yeah.
But so I put it off because I was hoping I would be in the mood to read it. But so this time I won't be able to tell you guys about all the Easter eggs and stuff. But it'll be fun. Okay, so I set the timer.
Okay.
So we're going to read for another 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and chat a little bit before we log off.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Dang, it was a good part. So I don't know if Epic is still here or if he was reading with us. And then my sister was here as well. She needs to read A Corn of Thorns and Roses. So she can. Well, you got to read both, Sis, so you can join us next month for the last book. Okay, so I'm at the part where Feyre and Rhys meet the bone carver. And it's a super interesting part. So when you get there, Epic is still here. When you get there, Brandy, you got to let me know what you think of that part.
Okay.
So cool.
I just read the part where Tamlin, it's worse now. He locks her in a shield and won't let her out, and she explodes on herself, I guess, or she just like has all this power. I think that's what you were probably talking about earlier. She has no idea what to do with it, and then she ends up with Rhys. So that's where I am now.
Yeah, didn't that just so mad at him?
So like, for all of the last book where he was like, you're not a prisoner, you're just my guest. She is even more of a prisoner this book than she ever was. She has no freedom at all with him. It's awful.
Yeah, he's something else. And you think, well, I guess Lucien really can't. I feel like he had more influence over Tamlin in the last book than he seems to have now. I don't know if it was because they were more on an even keel because Tamlin didn't have all of his power.
Yeah.
And now he's maybe a little afraid of him. I'm not really sure, but he seems a little hesitant to stand up for Feyre as much as you think that he would be like, dude, wake up. But he's not.
And when he tries, he just gets shot down real easy.
Yeah.
So
Tamlin's such a jackass.
I don't know. I'm just at the beginning of the book, I was ready to give him the benefit of the doubt and just kind of, he's been through some stuff. But then now that she's talking to Rhys more, and he's really been through a lot, like just being Amarantha's slave for so long. Talk about post-traumatic stress that he probably has. And they just kind of can identify with each other a little more on that, I think.
Yeah.
Being a prisoner and being locked up, and I don't know.
So, Epic, what are you reading? And anybody else who's on here, let us know what you're reading. If you were joining us for the sprint or just to hear us talk smack about Tamlin.
Tampon.
Yeah, so after that part, Brandy, you really get more, obviously, of Rhys. Rhys, not Rice. And it gets good because you get not so much about him, but what Ashley was talking about before, this like group of friends that he has. I really like that. They're all so cool. It's really fun.
It definitely has found family elements, which I absolutely adore.
Ashley, are you doing the Olympics readathon at all? No. So that was one of the prompts, was a book with the found family trope, and I really had a hard time trying to pick a book for that. And so I ended up picking a romance book because I was like, all romances are kind of found family. And I put this one in the political intrigue, but this definitely would have been a book for that trope.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you kind of see it continue in the next book, in the last book in the trilogy, because it just gets better after that. I mean, they just come together and they do really amazing things.
I have this book for my Aphrodite prompt. Oh, that's the team I'm on, Aphrodite. I think last night you were saying Athena.
Oh, that's right. I did say Athena.
So maybe we're not third place. But
I don't know. I have to look.
I like Athena. I don't know. I just for a minute was thinking last night I was on Team Athena, but I'm not. I'm on Aphrodite. And so the Aphrodite prompt is a beautiful cover. So I love this cover. So I felt like, and it's also my biggest book. So you get double points if it's the prompt of your team. So sneakily, this is my Aphrodite book.
That was so hard for me because I'm on Team AOS, which is to read a book first in a series. And I'm in the middle of like 20 different series. And I'm like, I don't want to start another one, especially one that has big books in it. But that's to get the most points out of it. That's exactly what I'd have to do. I'd have to start a series, and I'd have to start one that the first book at least is big.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do Kings of Paradise. I have another book that I picked for it for Team AOS, but it's not long. So I might have to switch it up.
No, not. I was gonna say Cyros class, book 3. But Blood Song, I think you said you weren't sure if you're gonna get to that, but that's my AOS, my first in a series book. And I was gonna read the new Richard Nell book that's Dark Sea's End. Mm-hmm. And that's also a first in a series, but I'll probably finish Blood Song before that. But yeah, I'm in the middle of a bunch of stuff too, so it was hard.
Is Richard's first book, what's it called?
The first book? The Ash and Sand trilogy is the first one is Kings of Paradise. Okay.
All right. Because I was thinking, I'm really excited to start that because I just found out like watching y'all's channels and stuff like that sounds really good. So, but I was worried because I was like, I don't know if it's on Kindle because I have Kindle Unlimited. But
yeah, it
is. It looks like a really big book.
It is. It's the biggest one too of the series. Actually, the third one was the smallest, but it still felt like a lot of book because he just packs so much story. But I'm telling you, the Kings of Paradise book, it's a huge book, and there's like a lot. If you have the physical copy, there's a lot of words on each page. It's just like really crammed. But it's such a good story and so much happens that I just I think I read that book in like 2 or 3 days.
Really?
Not even, it was just so good. I couldn't put it down. They're just really good books. So, I mean, for me, I hope you guys like them. But, it was just always exciting and always wanting to find out what's going to happen next. And it didn't feel like a big book. But kind of like this one doesn't to me either. It doesn't. It is huge, but it's I feel like I'm moving through it pretty good.
Yeah, I feel the same way for this one.
If you look at like the concepts and like the world building, this is what I like about Sarah J. Maas because she gives you bits and pieces, but I don't know, like I find this easier to digest than going into high fantasy. I don't know why, but there'll be times where I'm craving a high fantasy. I'm like, yes, I need all of the world, like To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. That's got a lot of stuff going on in it, and I really enjoy it. But sometimes I need to alternate, and this is perfect because it's just like in the middle of not being too much, but being just right.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So, sorry, I'm trying to look something up. So so sometimes in soft fantasy like this, you can miss the world building, and it can actually, for some people, can come out as a negative. But I don't feel like that's the case here. I don't know if it's because the world is close enough to traditional fantasy, that we don't need, traditional Earth fantasy, that we don't need the blanks filled in, that it's more of understanding the culture and the people and less of where are you in the world and what kind of fauna do you have there, and what is so when she goes to other places, you get a little bit told a little bit about what she sees, right? Because she's experiencing these places for the first time, but she doesn't just like we would if we showed up at some new place, we would have been like, oh, that is a pretty pink flower. I've never seen that before. So you see that there are flowers there, and she thinks they're really pretty, but I don't need to know as a reader much more than that. And then there's high fantasy, where that is, you're in a new world where you don't know anything about the physics or the mechanics or how many moons do they have, how many suns do they have, and you need to know all that in order to understand what world the characters are interacting with. But in this case, you don't need that, and I think it's done well enough that you still feel like you understand the world that the characters are in without needing all that exposition and all of that details. So I think it does make it easy to read without being a negative.
Yeah. I agree.
So what part, are you with the part where they're talking to the bone carver, Stacy? Like where like they...
Yes.
Okay.
They just showed up.
I'm right at the part, like I'm literally on page 188. And, but I'm confused because they said something about going to the summer court. He wrote something to see if he could access the summer court, but I didn't think the prison was in the summer court.
No, so it's a whole nother place.
Yeah. If I remember.
I don't know why. So I saw that too, and I was confused for a minute because then he talks about how the prison is part of his court.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's something to do with, like, I think, if I remember correctly now, talking about it, I think it has to do with something after they get done at the prison, which that would make sense to me, but it just kind of threw me off when, like, she just kind of threw that in there.
Because the prison, if you look at the map, is in the night court. So maybe, yeah, it had something else. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's on the island.
Mm-hmm. So did you guys, well, how much more did you read this time? Did you read more, the same?
I did another 10 pages. So.
I did the same.
Yeah. I read 15 this time. I'm almost at the 200-page mark. And
yeah, I'm at 127. Gosh, I'm
slow, Brandy.
I'm just creeping through.
No, we all read at different paces.
You know what I noticed though last night was I read pretty slow when we were reading together, and then when I went and laid in bed, I read faster. Maybe it was like a
subconscious thing.
I don't know. That maybe I don't know. And my kids were
slower. I read slower too in the beginning, but I thought it was just because I was trying to get back into the world. Yeah. But maybe it is something.
Maybe that's what it is too.
War in the Follows. I don't think I've heard of that. That's cool. I will really like to see the interview. Epic. I'll have to look at that book. Find out more. All right, so let's do a little bit of trivia before we log off. I haven't looked at these yet. They're supposed to be Family Feud-like trivia questions for the book lover. So the first one on here, the Brit's own poor childhood inspired him to write books like David Copperfield. What's the author's name?
Mark Twain.
Hmm?
Mark Twain, maybe?
No. It is one of the options, but that is not the correct answer. So the options are Oscar Wilde, Arthur Conan Doyle, Charles Dickens, or Mark Twain.
Oh.
Is that Charles Dickens?
Correct.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Correct. LA is this of LA is this of angels. The shadow hunters live in Cassandra Clare's this of glass.
City.
Yes, city. That was a weird question. I was like, oh. What? Have you read the Shadowhunters, City of Bone or City of Glass, City of Bones? No, I read the first one. I don't know the name of it. I think that one was City of Bones, and I was like, so I didn't read anymore.
Yeah,
I think it's on my list, but
I couldn't get through it.
Yeah, it was very cringy for me. So you're gonna get this one, Brandy. Her books like Sense and Sensibility have a lot to do with love and marriage, but she was never married. Come on, Brandy.
Oh, well, I was gonna give Ashley a chance.
Oh, well, okay, Ashley. Do you want to answer?
What book was it?
Sense and Sensibility.
Jane Eyre?
Close.
Jane Austen? Jane Austen.
Yes, Jane Austen. A lot of these are like old books. Scout is a curious little girl still trying to figure out life in America's South in this classic novel.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Correct. So you read that, Brandy. You said you didn't like it?
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Somebody I was talking to recently said they didn't like it. I was like, really?
But I read it a really long time ago, like 30 years ago. Wait.
Wow, that is... I read it a couple years ago.
Maybe 25 years ago. Gosh, I'm like aging myself here.
Yeah, she was 5 when she read that book.
Yeah, I was 5 when I read it. More like 15.
Geez, you old woman. Maybe you need the Epsom salt bath.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Maybe I'm miscalculating, though. If I was 15, okay, I'm 42. So.
Okay, so it wasn't...
Do with that what you will. I stayed up till 3 a.m. Mathing is not my thing right now.
It was my sister who said she didn't like it.
Oh.
Like, I know I was talking to somebody.
I liked it.
Okay. This beloved novel, whose first word is Christmas, has been adapted for a Christmas 2019 movie with Meryl Streep and Aunt March. That makes sense because I was kind of stumbled over it. You need to reread it.
More coffee.
The first word in the movie is Christmas.
The first word in the book is Christmas, and it has been adapted as a movie in 2019, during Christmas of 2019, with Meryl Streep as Aunt March.
I was busy nursing a baby back then. I don't remember. I didn't go anywhere.
It's Little Women.
Little Women. Okay, yeah.
Man.
Now that was a tough book. So the version that I got apparently has 2 books in it. So there's Little Women and then Little Wives, but it's sold as Little Women. So when I read the first half, I was like, oh, this is a 5-star book. It was so good. And then the second half, I was like, this sucks. And so I gave the book 3 stars. And then in my review, people were commenting saying, oh, you got the bind up with both, and Little Wives sucks. And I was like, okay, well then I can't. Well, it's still 3 stars if you read this edition.
I mean, it's true. I mean, because you're rating the book the edition that you read, so.
This character says, I keep picturing all these little kids playing some game in this big field of rye. I don't know this one. So the options are Atticus Finch, Holden Caulfield, Joe March, or Elizabeth Bennet. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Elizabeth Bennet.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Atticus Finch either. But I don't know.
So between Joe March and Holden Caulfield, which one do you want to guess?
I'm going to go with Joe.
Yeah, Joe's a friendly name.
Wrong.
Oh.
It was Holden Caulfield.
See, I don't even know what book. Does it say what that's from?
From Holden Caulfield is from Catch-22. No, not Catcher in the Rye.
Oh, I
my
haven't
God.
read that.
I was about to say that, but I was like, no, it's not.
Oh, and there's Rye in the question.
Yes, I feel stupid now.
I've never read that.
I was gonna say the wrong name anyways. I was gonna say, hey, it's Catcher in the Rye, but that's not the answer.
Okay, so this is a literature for 1200, so it's going to be a hard one. He's the only human in the Winnie the Pooh stories. What's his name?
Yeah, Christopher Robin.
Yes, very good, Brandy.
Ashley got it first, though.
12. Oh, she did. I didn't hear her. Okay, well, you both get 1200.
She broke up a little, but I heard the Robin part. She beat me to it.
I'm surprised that one was the hardest question on here.
Yeah.
Supposed to be the hardest on here.
That's not hard for Disney fans.
My sister says she loved Little Women.
I need to read that. I've only ever seen a movie adaptation of it.
I haven't seen the movie adaptation, so I can't say if it's actually good compared to the book. Or I liked the book, The Little Women. I did not like The Little Wives, but there's some history behind The Little Wives, and I think it would be a spoiler if I talk about that. But when you get there, I'll tell you why The Little Wives suck so bad and why Louise May Alcott didn't want to write it in the first place. You could tell that's why it wasn't very good, because I don't think her heart was really in it.
Yeah.
All right, somebody else's turn here, or we're going to log off. Anybody in the chat have any ideas, any questions you'd like to ask these lovely ladies?
It'd be really cool to have a Jeopardy book, like a Jeopardy game, but book themed.
Yeah.
I've seen some people do it for bachelorette parties, where they'll do like certain questions, like can't remember what it was, stuff about like bridesmaids and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be kind of cool to like do it, like have an author section, have a genre section. I might do that. We'll see.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I actually wanted to do a Family Feud at my Just Because meeting, and I was going to do readers versus authors, and we just didn't get enough people on there that I felt like we could really do it. So I wanted to have a good number of people on each team, and I thought that would be fun. So I'm still going to try to do that maybe later on when I can get more people to join in those live streams. But I thought it would be fun to kind of pit authors versus readers.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, I like doing games on here. There's some booktubers who do that, like on a monthly basis. They'll do a live stream and they'll play a game. And I think Alan from what is it? Library of Alexandria. I can never say it. He does like a Jeopardy live stream thing, which is I don't think it's book related. It might be. I can't remember. I haven't watched one in a while, but he has different people come to the live stream, and then they do a little Jeopardy thing. And it's fun to watch.
Check that channel out. I like that kind of stuff.
He's hilarious. Even if you don't watch that, his videos are so funny. He's so full of energy. I don't know how he does it, because he's a history teacher, and he does videos like 3 times a week. And I'm like, I don't know how you have the energy to sit on camera and be in that good of a mood after teaching high schoolers all day. But his channel is great. I like him a lot. And he's Team Zeus.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I've seen him. Okay. What was it? Alexandra or
Library of Alexandria.
Alexandria. I think I've seen that actually. I'm trying to
he's
follow all the people.
He just did a video with Michael Nip about video games and.
Oh, that's right. Michael Nip did a apology video after that. I don't know if you saw that, Ashley.
No.
It was hilarious. You could watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch that now.
I was like, why is he like? So I started watching it automatically, right? Because it showed up in my subscription feed, and he's all teary-eyed, or and I'm like, what happened? Why is he apologizing? And then from there, it's so funny. Some of these YouTubers, I don't know where they get that sense of humor. It's great. Cracks me up. Makes my day. Nobody wants to comment? All right.
I'm still mad that Raul's not here.
Yeah, he's in trouble with me. So, if you're watching, Raul, you're in trouble.
He's a busy guy.
Yep, we're going to gang up on him next time he comes to a live stream. I'm going to have to find a way if you can draw a mustache on people on here. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
I'd probably rock a soul patch or something.
That would be funny. All right, okay. Well.
I have to ask before we go.
Yeah?
All right, so I know I asked y'all earlier what you were thinking as far as like with Feyre and Tamlin. So what are your feelings on that now regarding, like, do you believe that she's going to go back to Tamlin? Like, what's your take on that? What's your prediction?
I don't think she is. I don't want her to.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I don't want her to. So I'm just in the very beginning of her leaving. So I don't know what else goes on after that. But I'm hoping that she stays away. Like the lady just telling her, was it more? When she was carrying her out, she was saying, you're free. Not you're safe, but you're free. And I liked that. So I hope she grabs onto that and makes her own way a little more. And then if she ends up back with him, she does. But maybe he'll redeem himself in some way. But I'm kind of feeling like she should end up with Rhys.
Your team Rhys all the way, huh?
Yeah, or just by herself.
Or that, yeah.
Being a boss fairy. A boss fairy.
That's why I'm High Lady Stacy, because there's no high ladies except me.
Yeah. You're the highest of ladies.
I'm the highest. In the sense that I'm, above everybody, not because there's anything more than coffee in my drink. I do want to see Tamlin again. I would be interested to see is he looking for her. I would hope so, if he's supposedly in love with her. So I'd like to see what happens. I'm kind of curious what's happening with him. Is he like going crazy looking for her, or does he know where she's at? But I if only for the reason that she could finally tell him why she had to leave, so that he can realize this was his fault, jackass.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want her to go back unless something changes and he redeems himself, which is going to be hard because, he's done to her what, if he loved her and knew her at all, he would understand the level of mental anguish that he's putting her through. It really is disturbing.
Yeah, I was kind of reading through that last part where before he locks her up, or as he's locking her up, thinking, I don't know how much more of this I want to like. I'm hoping that the story, I mean, it's good, but I'm hoping that the story moves beyond this whole thing. Okay, we get it. He's a jerk. He's not letting her be free. And then I'm hoping, and I'm guessing by the way you guys are talking, that she stays away for at least a little while. Not just the mandated week that she has with Reese.
Well, this isn't even part of the agreement.
That's what I was thinking. Is it time yet, or she just got out of there, got the heck out?
I'm gonna say one thing only. I'm super pumped for the soup scene.
For the what scene?
Soup scene.
Okay. So do we have to reach out to you when we get there?
Yep. You're gonna have to reach out to me.
So are you doing chef kiss because the soup is so good?
Oh no, I'm not talking about soup. That's for sure.
Okay, one thing and one thing only, she said.
No.
Okay, no more.
We'll let you know when we get to the soup.
Well, I really want to tell y'all what retelling it's based off of, but I'm afraid if I do that, it's just going to completely ruin it for you guys. So I'm sitting here like, it's this retelling, you can see what's gonna happen, and it's so exciting, but like right now you're just in anguish because it's anti-Tamlin and we don't know about Reese because he's done some creepy stuff. I just can't wait.
All right.
Well, we're keeping up pretty good with the Twitter, so.
Yes, and we'll be back on there after we log off here. I will be bugging you guys a couple more times to keep you motivated.
Please.
And hopefully we'll all reach our goals. So my goal is to also finish this book by midnight tonight. I don't know that it'll happen. I had hoped I would be halfway by now, but we'll see.
Well, midnight for me. Okay, you're in Central. Are you guys both in Central time zone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm an hour behind you. So it'll be 1:00 your time. I might finish it. I don't think so. But I'm trying. I'm going to try.
Well, and there's a lot of information that we're getting in this book, too. So, because I've caught myself, even though it's a reread for me, I am reading it pretty quickly, more quickly than I did when I first read it. But I catch myself going back to some of the places where I'm like, wait a second, did that really happen? So I almost want to say, yeah, I'm reading it a little bit faster, but at the same time, I'm not, because I'm trying to commit some of the stuff I've forgotten, in the past to memory. So, I mean, it's doable, but enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
That I actually have to admit something. I picked this for the readathon because I thought it would be a very, shallow read. And it's turning out to not be the case, which I'm enjoying. But it also means it's for me, I'm reading it probably faster than I really want to because I'm trying to finish it. And I noticed a couple times I had to go back and go, wait, what did I, especially when he's introducing his friends, because you meet them all at the same time. And so it's trying to keep who they are, keep track of them. I had to go back and reread parts from earlier when you first met them. And so I probably need to slow down. So if I don't finish it today, I'll finish it tomorrow. But yeah, but I have to say I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm enjoying the beginning of this one more than I did the first book. The first book, the only thing that really kept me excited was it was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which I said before is one of my favorite Disney movies. And so I just wanted to see where it was going to go, but it was very slow to kind of get into. But this one, man, page 1, I was really, and her nightmares, creepy.
Yeah.
I was
I mean, whenever Sarah J. Maas wrote that in this book, she hit it on the head. That's exactly what it feels like when you're going through the scenarios and you're going through those nightmares. And it just blows me away. Why didn't I realize that when I was reading it the first time? I don't know, but it's really standing out to me now.
Yeah, and
a different person.
The vomiting, and she calls it a fever dream, and it's just really well described, especially for someone that hasn't had that experience. It's.
So the vomiting thing. Do you think there's more to that? I keep, the first time it happened, I was like, is this morning sickness?
Okay.
Did you think the same thing?
Yes, but I've been thinking that since the first book, because there's so much of this unaccounted time that Feyre has with Reese. But I don't want to say because I was afraid somebody's face would make a face. Ashley. I don't know. So I don't know. Like this is how my brain works, with romance novels, because something like weird like that always happens. But I was thinking there's so much unaccounted time that she was drugged in that and in Reese's presence. She said she would say, I don't care what happened, I just need to get through it. And so I was wondering if something happened, or is she pregnant, or I don't know. But she's vomiting quite a bit.
I thought if she's pregnant, it would be Tamlin's. And if Reese did something to her while she's drugged, man, he's worse than Tamlin then.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. But the first time I read that, I thought it, and then it didn't come up again for a while. And just recently, she's throwing up again. And I'm like, they keep bringing this up. Is this something we should know? So I'm curious. I'm not.
In a part I just read, they're already talking about what if she has a child, the gift's going to be gifted onto this child. I mean, I know that could be in the future and her children's children, but I don't know. They don't just put it there for no reason.
Yeah, maybe. I'm curious too. I don't know. All right, Ashley.
She has a good poker face. I have the worst. If I knew what happened, I would just be like, I'm the worst.
Well, thank you, ladies, for joining me again today. So we have 10 hours, 11 hours for Brandy, 10 hours for us to try and read as much as we possibly can. I will be hitting you guys up on Twitter for some more fun. And of course, you can let me know what your progress is there as well. And any of you guys who are still in the chats, thank you for joining. We had so much fun. It's always so much fun to be on live stream. So much less pressure to do this than it is to film an actual video that needs to be edited. But all right, well, we'll see you guys again. Bye.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.